Alright, y'all, I might have side quested a little too hard here because what do you mean I am tracking tigers on foot here in the jungles of Nepal? So, after having to make a daring escape from the Himalayas due to treacherous weather and landslides, which is a story for another time, I decided I needed a little break from the mountains and took a 16-hour bus ride to the remote, far corners of Nepal. So here I find myself in a local Taru village staying with a lovely family, including their father, who was a tiger tracker and jungle guide for 16 years. And here we are following their youngest son on a bike through the forest to look for leopards, so he's not far off. Right off the bat, let me tell you, this is not as thrilling as it sounds. It requires a ton of patience and is much more mental than physical. It's like trying to find a needle in an enormous haystack, except that needle is actively avoiding you, or in rare occasions, can turn around and attack you. Since tigers are most active at night, and since we are restricted to the national park's opening hours, we are at it for the entire day, starting at sunrise and only leaving the park as night sets in. Male tigers are very territorial, and their territories span areas far larger than we can cover on foot, so we have to be very strategic about this. Our guide has his eyes to the ground and his ears to the sky, looking for tiger poo and footprints, but more importantly, listening for the alarm calls from monkeys, birds, and deer. Odds are you won't see a tiger, first you will hear the tiger, or more accurately, you will hear all the animals freaking out that there is a tiger nearby. Imagine having so much aura that you've pretty much got an entire symphony following your every footstep. It was eerie while we crouched in the tall grass in silence as the overhead cacophony alerted us to the tiger's every movement, and we waited to see if the tiger would make an appearance. Which it didn't. Like I said, it is a test of patience, and as our guide described it, you are tracking for hours and hours in hopes of the stars aligning for 1 or 2 seconds. We closed out the day waiting by the river, trying to see if we could catch the tiger crossing back into its territory, which did not happen, but alas, tomorrow is a new day, and it starts off promising as we find a fresh trail of tiger tracks.